Soul Garden.
Hello, my Rams, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I am your host, Christopher Witecki. And pardon showing up a couple days late, my stomach got into a war with a cheeseburger. Not fun stuff. Before we get on to your horoscope, I do have an announcement. I always do. We have Lightcast Boot Camp coming up. I don't know if you're familiar with this. This is a 6-week training program where I take you from kind of understanding reality to manifesting reality. And we have proven results. Students in our summer classes manifested jobs, manifested love, manifested moving out of the States. There are all kinds of case examples. This is a formula that actually works. It is all of the astrology put together and some other stuff I happen to know. If you want to know more about it, it's a 6-week course. The whole goal is to manifest something by the end. You can find out more at lightcastbootcamp.com. All right, Aries says, well, we are working on what we call context consciousness. One of the things we go over in boot camp is the 12 states of awareness. Each month you work on one of them. This week you are wrapping up working on your context consciousness, which is friends, society, your sphere of influence, your reputation, your title. Basically, where you see yourself in reality. Where do you belong? It is the I belong state of awareness. And as we start off this week, actually as we start off Monday, let's go ahead and review. We were wrapping up the last week or last chapter of this lesson. In fact, on Monday, Venus is ruling the day. So it was a day really of restoring balance and order. With the moon in Scorpio, you were emotionally sensitive with boundaries and trust issues. Yesterday on Valentine's Day, Neptune ruled the day. It was a very spacey day for the most part. The moon was also in Scorpio. And so you were intuiting and connecting to your higher self on Tuesday, and your emotions were still based on trust and intimacy. If you had a Valentine's date, might have been a little vulnerable, might have been a little randy, but that whole boundary issue was emotionally sensitive on Valentine's Day. Then comes to our air date, Wednesday. On Wednesday, Saturn rules the day, and actually, thank God I say it came back at this point, because this is probably the first important day of the week. With Saturn ruling the day, we have a couple things going on. For one, it's time to decide. When Saturn rules, the universe is asking you for a commitment. So whatever it is you've been working on this month, whether it is certain friendships or where should I go for as far as a title, any of these types of context decisions, maybe even you're deciding to move into a new location geographically on Earth, that counts. That would be a new context, right? New people, new world, new energy vibration. Well, it's time to decide as of Wednesday. Tell us what your decision is as far as what you commit to. I'm committed to light casting this. I want this to happen, universe. And at the same time, the moon will be in Sagittarius, so you'll be very fired up. Your emotions will be philosophical. You'll be feeling very passionate on Wednesday, and you will also be in a mood to learn and open to learning, so it's good. Also notice the beginning of this trine between Saturn retrograde in Libra over to the Sun. Part of this decision and leading up to the end of the week is not just the context that you belong in, but how that relates to your long-term relationships, right? If you marry someone from out of the country, they bring a context to relationship. How does that context affect your context? In other words, not only are you deciding where you belong, but you're also at the same time looking at long-term relationships, the type of people that you go into long-term relationships with, and coordinating with this trine how the two go together. Now, those of you that I watch over in the Guardian Agency, I will be sending out a personal text on Wednesday that will help you make a decision based on going to your natal chart, going back to your natal Saturn placement. I'll be giving you advice on the qualities it takes for your soul, not just any Aries, but your soul, to make quality decisions. And that will come out from GA on Wednesday. Then Thursday, we actually want to act on what we decide. So Thursday is kind of an amped up day. You'll be feeling good because your home planet Mars is ruling the day. When Mars rules, it's time to act on what we know. So if you decided you want this title, act on it. This is one of the things we teach in boot camp too. To manifest reality, to lightcast your vision, you have to put into action your decision. You can't just sit there and wait for the universe to show up. You've literally got to push, make it move. So on Thursday, act on it. Do something. Show with action and motion the universe. Start stirring the pot of reality and show that you mean business to the universe and you're going to act on your decision and put it into motion. The moon is still in Sag, so you're able to detach. You're able to take things a little bit more philosophically. And don't forget to remember, line it up there with the retrograde. Notice Mercury is way ahead of the sun. Mercury is our focus of our intellect, or where our intellect is thinking about. It's ahead, which means we're thinking to the future. It's also in Pisces now, which means you are thinking to the future, but from a higher faith level. We'll talk more about that later. Then moving on, Friday. On Friday, things actually feel pretty groovy. The moon will move into Capricorn, so emotions shift from the theoretical and the philosophical into career. So your emotions will be triggering off of career and control issues. If someone tries to control you, could make you emotional. If you feel like you're out of control, could make you emotional. Emotions, the moon, are touring your decision state of awareness, the part of you that makes decisions which leads to career. So emotions do put career on the plate, and if you've been only thinking about relationships and context till this point, well, now you're probably also thinking about where do I belong in the world as it relates to my career. So Friday is a day of holding space. There's no ruling planet. It is a day of light casting. It's a day of standing in your heart and just saying, I am this, and standing there. And you, out of all races, are the best right at the I am. Don't forget, on Friday, we also have SG Live, starring my co-host Carolyn Nagel and I. We've been having a good time. We're getting better at this, and we're saying things we don't normally say. So if you want to just come hang out with us, it is at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's all the way to 7 p.m. in Europe. Do the math, figure out where you live. Then, moving to the weekend, we have a pretty busy, intense day on Saturday. In a sense, Saturday is where everything comes together. It is the climax of the week, really, astrologically. It is the 29th degree, so that's the tested degree. The 20th degree, the final degree, is the universe kind of emotionally tempting you to slip with what you dedicated yourself and what you put into action. It's not the universe wants to trip us. It's really that, can your emotions follow through with what you've decided? Our emotional state of awareness is a whole nother sea of power that has to be coordinated to manifest reality, and that's what we talk about in boot camp as well. So you are tested on whether your emotions can stand behind this light cast on Saturday. There's a test to fall back. Notice also, though, that the sun is at 29 degrees and Saturn is at 29 degrees, which means the two planets are in perfect synchronicity, and at this point, your relationships definitely have to match up to how you think you belong in society. That is the magic formula there. Where will your emotions be? Well, they will be in Capricorn still, and they will also have just crossed Pluto. So emotionally, you're still feeling about career, you're still feeling about control issues. You may even take control issues and place them on relationships. Sometimes the soul mixes it all up, gets the peas and carrots kind of stirred, but nonetheless, emotions are very formal when you're having to hold steady. That might make it easier with the test. So hold steady on Saturday. Now, for GA people as well, I'll send out another personal text on GA since we got so much going on. For those I watch over, I'll be sending you a text message that gives you help on what does it take to release. Because a lot of times when we want to let our emotions just be, we have to release our control. We have to surrender. So instead of decision, it's the reverse. What does it take to let go based on your own date of birth and how you are different from other Aries? Is that from GA for those who are watched over. Sunday is 0 degrees. You don't like to say 0 being 0. There's no vibration on the planet. It's going to feel kind of funky. We're literally in the no man's land on Sunday between two states of awareness. For you, you are also shifting. I think you will feel pretty good. Cloudy, but pretty good. And the moon will be at that point moving into Aquarius. So it's almost like as you start to go underground, because that's the next transit for you, is your subconscious transit and your karma. We'll talk about that in the next horoscope. But your emotions kind of follow through in Aquarius on Sunday. So on Sunday, you are feeling this month's work, but you're not necessarily seeing this month's work because the 0's at 0 degrees. But that will be it. We will be wrapping up by Sunday our context, consciousness, and on to the next state of awareness. All right, Aries, I hope you have a good week. Hope you had a good Valentine's Day. Thanks for logging in, and I will see you in 7 days. Until then, Ram, live, love, be.